Diabetes World. Okay, I'm gonna do something said I was gonna cut out, but you'll see as soon as we get going. Today's topic we're going to take a look at is, does diabetes seem to affect everything? Stay tuned and you'll see. We'll be right back with today's. Okay, so does diabetes seem to affect everything? Every time you turn around, there's always someone who says, oh, I got this because I got diabetes, or diabetes seemed to be the cause for this. Well, it doesn't really work that way. Type 1 diabetes is a disorder. I'll call it a disorder. I've heard it referred to as an imbalance. It could even be referred to as a disease. But type 1 diabetes, an imbalance. It's an imbalance of the amount of sugar and insulin in your blood. You get the right amount of insulin in your blood, your sugar kind of controls itself. The problem is getting to that. Now, the sugar in your body goes into the bloodstream and travels to different part of your body. Your nerves, that's why we have problems with our nerves. Our eyes, that's why we have problems with our eyes. It goes to the heart. That's why we have problems with the heart. It can even go to your skin. We talk about moving around your injection sites so that it can read your blood sugar. But if you keep doing it all at the same time, it's going to get hard. It's not going to absorb the insulin. You could get a callus. The only callus I really had was for a while on my stomach. I was, it was nice and easy. I was in a position at work. I couldn't take 20 minutes to give a shot. So I'd quickly give the shot and then move on. It was that quick. And I started to feel that it was getting hard. Now, what did I do? I stopped using that side. I went to the other side. This was the time that I started to take care of my health. So I started to rotate. That cleared up. But you see, anything you do, diabetes plays a part. You need to be very conscious. the more tightly controlled, studies have found that your blood sugars tight, then you get less side effects. Side effects, another name for complication. I've had a few. I have problems with my feet. I have diabetic neuropathy. I have some gastroparesis. But again, digestion is all done by nerves. You have problems with your nerves, things are going to happen. So you need to be really tight control in order to lead a great life without diabetes. When I was first diagnosed, I said, oh, well, that's a bunch of hearsay. Technology has changed so much. And that was 1977, where we were still doing urine tests and needles, and we were just coming out of the era where I was taught in the hospital how to sharpen needles. You're gonna be written a prescription for needles, and you'll probably end up getting a glass syringe for your first needles. And the hospital was a great thing. They had the new plastic tubes, but don't expect to get that. When we went to the pharmacist said, glass tubes? We have these available. And I never had to use that. But back then, the whole treatment for your diabetes was just give you a shot, the dose your doctor prescribed. Don't change your dose. Don't do anything without the doctor's okay. Days before you had a doctor's appointment, you had to go and get blood tests done. And this would tell your doctor how tight control you were. So I did it, and a lot of other teenager type 1 diabetics that I hung out with did it. You knew when your doctor's appointment was. And we would go and we would have our doctor's appointment. We would do everything by the book for that week. And then when we went to see him, we did the blood test. Oh, yeah, everything looks good. You're doing well. We won't change anything. But thinking back now, I told the story that I used to do urine testing intermittent. And this was in the era before sensors would read blood sugars on your glucometer. That should be 6.4. Hopefully you're able to read 6.4. But we have to do 2 voids, so for a week I'd do that all perfect. I'd do my little test, then go to the doctor with these results. My results, when I was taking care of my diabetes, I wrote them all down, and I understood now, being older, why my doctor was so absurdly angry about oh, you are just writing down numbers, they don't make sense. But now, knowing my brittle wasn't allowing me to get tight control, it wasn't until I started using the glucometer 4 times a day, every day. I don't know what that was. So I was sitting on my. But I really learned how tight control can either stop complications from happening or enable your body to act as normal as possible. My blood sugar, keeping my blood sugar normal. My average blood sugar is a good indication. Rarely do I go up over 9 down here. This here, we could see I was up, I've gone down, I've been below 3.9. That's a little dangerous for diabetics. But it's all because sugar in the blood is going to go to every single cell in the body. It can actually affect your moods. If you have low blood sugar, oh my God, you're going to get a headache. Your moods are going to change. I mentioned him a few times. I have a friend here, and he's also has type 1 diabetes. This friend and I both know that when we go low, we can be vicious, cruel, argumentative. Well, he's argumentative all the time. But because blood affects everything, it can affect your moods and your emotional state. So be aware. Don't be so detrimental. If you find your blood sugar is creeping up, that's time you need to take action. Bring your blood sugar down into a range that your doctor and you have agreed on, that will probably be the best treatment area. You'll live a longer life. You'll be a better life without pain, like from legs and neuropathy. You won't lose sight. Your emotional life will be better just from controlling your blood sugar. Think about it. With that, have a great day and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email address is Mike's Diabetes World at gmail.com. All one line. Drop me